All right, let's talk about one of the most frustrating feelings ever. You know, that gap between knowing exactly what you should do and then, well, just not doing it. In this explainer, we're going to dive into how to finally close that space between your best intentions and your actual actions. And we're pulling some amazing ideas from author Brianna Wiest.
I mean, who hasn't been here, right? You should get up early or eat healthier or finally tackle that big project. And yet, what do? We hit snooze, we grab the junk food, we scroll endlessly on our phones. It's such a universal struggle, but here's the good news, you are absolutely not alone. In fact, this isn't some new problem we just invented.
So, what exactly is this force that holds us back? This consuming thought, this feeling of being totally stuck? Well, it actually has a name, and just understanding what it is, that's the very first step to conquering it.
Yeah, this is not some modern-day 21st century problem we've just discovered. Nope. The ancient Greeks had a word for it, akrasha. Zen Buddhists, they call it resistance. This is a fundamental part of being human, a battle people have been fighting for, literally, centuries.
And this is the real question, isn't it? The real work isn't just knowing what's good for us, but figuring out why we resisted so much. And the reason is actually super simple and completely hardwired into us. It's our deep, physiological desire for comfort. We are just designed to seek out what's easy and safe, even when we know a little bit of discomfort right now could lead to a way better life down the road.
Okay, so if we're hardwired for comfort, are we just doomed to procrastinate forever? Not at all. The solution isn't about trying to find more willpower or fighting that instinct head-on. It's about a really simple but powerful mental pivot.
You know, we so often think we need to wrestle our negative or lazy thoughts into submission. We try to force ourselves not to think about the donut or not to feel like hitting snooze. But as anyone who's ever tried this knows, it is exhausting and it almost never works. And here's the secret, here's the key. Instead of fighting the old thought, you simply redirect your focus, you choose a new one. You pick a more compelling, more empowering thought to put your energy into. It's not about resistance at all, it's all about replacement.
So, how in the world do we find a thought that's powerful enough to actually pull us forward? We do it through intentional visualization. And you know what? Let's walk through a quick exercise right now, together.
Okay, first up, your home. And don't just think a nice house. No, get really specific. Where is it? What city? What color are the sheets on your bed? Walk over to the fridge. What kind of food is inside? What moments are you capturing with your camera? Try to feel the reality of it. The more sensory details you can pack in, the more real it becomes in your mind.
All right, now let's zoom in a little closer into your days. What kind of work leaves you feeling totally fulfilled and proud? At the end of the year, what are you going to measure as a success? Is it books read, projects you've completed, the connections you've made? What's a perfect Saturday feel like? Can you actually feel the sun on your skin in that moment? Building this incredibly detailed picture gives your mind a brand new, much better target to aim for. Now, here's a powerful question to ask yourself. What would be true if the things you just assumed about your life were not? This question is a game changer. It breaks us out of our default patterns. What if you just assumed you could do that thing you think is impossible? What if all those limitations you've accepted just, poof, weren't real? Asking this just opens up a whole new world of possibility. Okay, so this whole visualization thing feels good, right? But why does it actually work? Let's get into the simple but really powerful psychology of how choosing your thoughts can literally actually change your life. Here's the most crucial point. You don't wait for your circumstances to change to start feeling better. Nope. You change your internal world first, and that is what creates the changes in your external world. This idea, it's the foundation of so many success stories throughout history. And here's how that chain reaction works. It all starts with your thoughts. The thoughts you repeat over and over again, they become your mental habits. Those habits, well, they create your dominant mood. And that mood becomes the filter through which you experience everything. So if you really want to change your life, you have to go all the way back to the source, the thoughts you are choosing to focus on. That's why that visualization exercise is so critical. It's step one.
Man, I love this quote because it makes the whole process so actionable. You're not just a victim of whatever random thoughts pop into your head. You can actively shape your thinking by choosing your inputs, the books you read, the content you consume, the ideas you surround yourself with. You are the curator of your own mind.
Okay, so we've covered the problem, the mental shift you need to make, and the why behind it all. So what's the very first step you can take, like right now?
Just remember this, your life exists in its days. Your future isn't built in some huge dramatic moment way off in the distance. It is being built right now, today. It's constructed from all those small, seemingly insignificant choices you make about where you place your attention. Those daily thoughts, they accumulate, they become your default settings, and they ultimately create your entire life.
So, I'm just going to leave you with this. In the next hour and in the next day, you are going to have thousands of chances to choose what you think about. You can keep focusing on what's consuming you, or you can choose to visualize the life you truly want. The choice is always yours. What will you spend your thoughts on?
And just so you know, everything we've talked about today was inspired by the absolutely brilliant insights in Brianna Wiest's book, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. If you want to go even deeper on these ideas, I cannot recommend checking it out enough. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.